Well, hello folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up that screen. All right, Ilus, SIRC, and CYBL are these three of the best OTC stocks out there right now. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about what happened Friday. Woo, what a mess. All right, well, Chairman Powell went out and he spoke, and it was no bueno.
Everybody panic! Oh my God!
Yeah, it was not good. It was a freak out show. Powell came out and said, first it's going to get tough, and then it's going to get tougher. And everybody did panic. At one point, I remember looking up on the CNBC, and Dow was down 1,000 points, and NASDAQ 500, and I was like, what the fudge?
Only I didn't say fudge. I said the word. The queen mother of dirty words.
Yeah, it wasn't good. He's going to have to keep raising interest rates, and that's just bad for everybody. It's bad for the economy, et cetera. And look, I don't see how it's going to get better. They're throwing more money on the fire. You know, you just had the $700 billion inflation fighting bill, which I don't understand how spending $700 billion is going to fight inflation. Now, I understand it's got a whole lot of stuff in there for the environment as far as climate change and all that. And I'm not necessarily against a climate change bill. I've already said that I would do all kinds of tax breaks for folks buying EVs, et cetera. But to sit here and act like that's going to fight inflation is ridiculous.
How dare you?
Shut up, Greta.
Shut up, Meg.
But like I said, it's going to happen. So, you know, we'll see. That'll probably wind up in court or something like that. And then on top of it, another $500 billion in the whole student loan thing, which they're doing. The executive branch is doing that. And I always thought that spending money had to be done from the House and the Senate, and then the president would sign off on it or he'd veto it. But now they're just going to do it from the executive branch, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But I don't see how that really fights inflation either, unless you live on a special island.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Yeah, I don't get it, but that's okay. It's not my job to get it. I haven't been elected to anything. But anyway, let's get into these three stocks and let's see how they did in this whole horrible day. All right, so Ilus, which one of the stocks that I cover on a pretty regular basis, fire and safety sector, it was down 3% on Friday, so not bad. Really, I was expecting these OTC stocks to get hammered because normally if the Dow's down 1,000 points and NASDAQ down 500 points, your penny stocks are going to get absolutely slammed. But it looks like this one didn't get hit much at all. That's very minor, 3%. Now let's see what happened with SIRC and then also CYBL. Okay, this one was down about 3%, about the same. I mean, not too bad for a horrible, horrible day. And then CYBL, CYBERLUX, it was down 2.5%. So again, that's very minor for the OTC when you're in the middle of a bloodbath, basically. So the reality is, and this is why I've been investing in the OTC with these particular three stocks. I mean, these are the ones I'm buying currently, because they're all three quite profitable, and they've also been hit pretty hard. All three of them, I feel like I'm buying close to the bottom. I mean, you never can find the perfect bottom, and you're just not going to. But if you can get somewhere close over time and you got a profitable company, it should move up. You know, we'll see, time will tell, but I feel real good about these three stocks. And again, these are the three reasons that I bought them right here, starting with Ilus. You know, people are a lot less likely to panic sell when they see a profit and loss statement from the second quarter where a company went from about $3 or $4 million up to about $19 million, a 500% increase, and then they're profitable. Now, this isn't as good a profit as we were expecting, but still over $1 million, and it's the best profit they've ever had. You know, pretty strong. So that allows a lot of the long-term shareholders to hold on to it. And then again, like I said, it's sitting at the bottom pretty much. I mean, if you look at Ilus, you can see it's got pretty darn strong support right there at 6 cents. It goes way, way, way back here to over a year ago. It's not been down this low in a very long time. So I feel very comfortable with Ilus buying at this range. Like I said, I bought at 6 cents, which was Thursday, I believe. And you know, if it pulls back down to 6 again, I'll add some more for sure. Even though I'm not thrilled with their profit margin, look, they're still quite profitable. And this is why CYBL interested me so much, and I did buy it. And they went from $367,000 the year before to $8.3 million in revenue, which is crazy. And as you can see, they've got $2.6 million income from operations, even after interest expense over $2.5 million in profit on an $8.3 million revenue. That is super strong. That's one of the best margins I've seen on the OTC. Now, this one does have a yield sign. Don't forget CYBL has a yield sign, and that is some serious danger. But I went ahead and bought some because I felt like the yield sign was priced in, and I know what kind of risk I'm buying into because
Danger's my middle name.
Okay, Austin Danger Powers.
okay, maybe not so much, but anyway, I can't take credit for that one. That was actually a viewer told me I should throw that in there. But anyway, this stock's looking really good as far as their financials, and I think that's why it's holding up pretty good. And if we take a look at the chart on CYBL, as you can see, it's down at the bottom. It's not been this low for last August. So it ran up to 6 cents. It's pulled way back down, and now it's sitting here at just over a penny. And given where the financials are, and now it's sitting here at the bottom, I don't mind adding some. But again, there is that yield sign. Now, if that yield sign goes away, I've got this bought in my regular account and in my Roth IRA. And if this thing jumps, I'll probably sell some and take some profit because it'll probably jump and then pull back down again in this environment. I don't see it having a straight up run. And then if it does, then I'll buy some more if it pulls down and take some profit and just not worry about it. And then for SIRC, which is Solar Integrated Roofing Corporation, they've gone from $8 million in the second quarter of 2021 to $66 million, which is absolutely outstanding. That's one of the best growth rates I've ever seen. But their profit's really good too. And that they went from losing $4 million to having a net income of $21 million, and then even after all their expenses and interest expenses, almost $19 million. And their forward PE is super low. So is CYBL, and Ilus is in the teens. So all of these have really good forward PEs as well, which you don't normally see in the OTC. A lot of times you can't even do a PE. So all three of these stocks have held up really well, even after Friday, because of multiple reasons. They're all profitable, number one. Number two, they're all sitting at the bottom of their charts, which is good. And I'm just going to keep adding carefully to these three stocks, a little more carefully with CYBL because of that yield sign. But I like these three stocks, and I'm going to kind of stick with them. But again, I'm using the 10% rule. I've told you about this, where I only put 10% of my portfolio in the OTC because it is so risky. But let's take one last look at something that's pretty important. That's the shorts, because you're seeing a lot of look, you're always going to get a lot of negativity when it comes to OTC. In my last video, I told you all about that. But the reality is shorts are going to put out a lot of negative crap on social media about these companies and any company that's out there, because OTC is where the shorts live. And here you can see Ilus. It's always living in the 50 and 60% of volume shorted. So that's really high. Understand that's half the shares that day were shorts. And if you don't know what shorts are, or you do, it's just simply they're renting stock from long-term holders, paying them a little return percentage, and then they try to push the stock down. First of all, they sell the stock immediately. That naturally puts negative pressure on the stock and pushes it down. And then they go on social media and they wear you out about how terrible the company is and all that sort of stuff. And then they try to buy it back at the lower price and realize, yeah, technically they sold the stock, but they got to buy it back. So did they really sell it? Well, technically yes, but it's kind of a little bait and switch type thing. But anyway, they sold it here. They're going to try to buy it back here, return it to the original owner, and keep this difference. That's how they make their dollar. And I have a video of shorts talking about how to handle people that own the stocks and what to do on social media. And here it is.
Sweep the leg. You have a problem with that?
Yep, that's actually two shorts talking. You can tell one's not really into it, but he's going to do it. I mean, you have to. When sensei says, you got to do it. And shorts have a sensei. I don't know why. Here you can see CYBL. Good grief, 60%. Golly. Man, they were wearing it out on CYBL. You're going to hear a lot of negativity about that company. And then SIRC, I don't think they discovered it quite yet. It's at 30%. It stays a little bit lower. But if it starts going up, you can count on the fact they're going to jump into this and try to short the crap out of it. That's still pretty high, but it's not nearly as high as the other two. All right, folks, that's just an update on three of the stocks that I think are some of the best on the OTC. There might be some better ones out there, but those are three that I really like right now. And I'm always looking for good, profitable penny stocks that have high growth and maybe people are missing out on. Now's kind of a good time for that because everything's been beat up so much, especially the OTC. But if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover all of these types of stocks. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. That'd help me out a little bit. And I hope you did like the content. We'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.